Benvenuti amici. Welcome friends to Isabella's Bella Cucina. My name is Isabella Morgia di Vicari and I'm going to teach you this wonderful dish called Orecchiette with Arugula, pomodoro, which are tomatoes, mushrooms, and Brie. Imagine what this is going to taste like when we put it together. How incredible when you put this arugula with pasta. You'll be amazed of the freshness. These fresh tomatoes here, all right, what's gonna happen is when we put them in at the very end, so we're not gonna cook them down like a sauce, you're actually gonna see these beautiful chunks of tomatoes right in that pasta. So you're gonna have something hot, something warm, the incredible flavors together. There is a happy party in your mouth when you taste this dish. But we're gonna get started. The very first thing that I wanna do is put that pasta in, but you know what? I don't want to do that just yet because I want to chop up this pomodoro, tomatoes in Italian. Every one of my classes you'll notice, or every one of my cooking segments, I will teach you an Italian word. So our word today is pomodoro. I want to hear you say it. Okay, if I don't hear you at the moment, make sure you email me because I'd love to hear it. All right, as you notice, I'm just chopping these tomatoes nice and roughly. No rhyme or reason again, just about the same size. A nice ripe tomato. Okay, now let me wipe up my hands real quick. By the way, I never told you, orecchiette in English are called ears. They're baby ears, they're little ears. So if you don't know how to say orecchiette, just call them little ear pasta, okay? Let's get it going. Okay, the orecchiette is in the boiling water now. So let's get this saute pan going. What I want to do is take some l'aglio. L'aglio is garlic, okay? You want about 4 cloves of garlic, and I love garlic, so you know what? I'm going to throw an extra one in there. And I'm just going to slice this up just like this. Remember that when you're in the kitchen, don't forget to use a good sharp knife. That'll truly be your best friend. A dull knife will be your enemy in the kitchen. All right, we got some beautiful l'aglio being cut right now. Just slicing it thin, actually. Before I go any further, I need some olive oil. We're gonna give this a couple of turns here. Perfect. And at the very beginning, this pan is nice and hot. Throw in these fresh mushrooms. Just give it a quick turn. And when you're cooking mushrooms, you don't want to do a lot of moving around. You want them to pick some beautiful color up right here in the pan. So give it a stir, get that olive oil coating on these beautiful pieces of mushroom and leave it alone. Now I'm just going to chop the l'aglio, the garlic, nice and fine. That looks pretty good. Now we've got this beautiful piece of Brie. I'm just going to take this and cut it in 1/2 inch pieces. Have you ever had pasta with Brie? Wait till you try this. You're going to love it. This soft, smooth cheese is just going to melt and be amazing in this dish. So you've got your Brie cut. You have your garlic cut. Let's turn this a little. See that beautiful color already? Now, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to throw some garlic in there. It smells amazing right now. You're going to let that just sit there and just pick up these beautiful flavors. You're going to pick up some beautiful color because in a moment we're going to throw in the fresh tomatoes. You know how important these tomatoes are. They are vine-ripe tomatoes. They're so healthy for you. This dish in itself is a walking antioxidant. The fresh garlic, the fresh tomatoes, the wonderful arugula, and the herbs and spices, believe me, If you eat the right amount of this pasta dish, you will be in great shape. Let's toss this in. Doesn't that sound heavenly? Now you notice I'm cooking this on high heat. Now we're gonna let this simmer. While it's simmering, what do? We season. Remember, the most important thing in a dish is to season it properly. Once you learn the secrets to seasoning, you can make anything. Little more, there you go. Now, if you want to use crushed red pepper, cayenne pepper, or black pepper, I love a kick, so I'm going to use crushed red today, but I use cayenne all the time as well. I want a little more of a kick. There you go. Just stir this up again. It's absolutely beautiful. Let's check this pasta. Oh, let me see. I think this orecchiette is almost done. Put that in there for a moment. Perfecto. You don't want a mushy pasta. You want it with just a little bite when you put it in your mouth. All right, and it's just about ready. All right, so I'm just going to turn this off. And we're in good shape. Now, you notice that tomatoes are releasing its juices at this very moment. Now, what do I want to do? Add a little bit of vino. That's a cup of white wine. All right, so what do I have right now? I've got the sauce simmering right now. I've got everything ready to go in. Now, I have this wonderful arugula. If you haven't used arugula in your pasta before, let me inspire you, okay, to do it today. I want you to go out and get these few simple ingredients. Look how affordable this dish is. And I want you to serve it to your family tonight. They will be so glad you did. This is almost ready. Let's add this pasta. Now, notice that I'm not going to drain the pasta, okay? I'm going to actually move this back a little bit, but I do need a little bit of the pasta water in here. That's why I don't drain the pasta. Here we go. Now, if you can't find orecchiette, by the way, in your grocery store, use any short pasta. You can use a shell. You can use a penne, a ziti, either one. Quite frankly, I think a linguine would do fabulous with this. So I'm going to say use whatever you desire, whichever pasta you have in the house. But the one good thing is when I'm teaching my classes, I always want you to learn to use different types of pastas. So go ahead and try something new. Nobody wants to eat the same old thing anyway. Okay, here we go. Let's move this out of the way. Gonna stir this up. Oh, I just love this. Now, you know what I want to do? I want to taste that sauce one moment, just to make sure that it has what it needs. That is really good. But you know what it needs? A little more kosher salt. Gonna add a little more in there. And I'm going to take this arugula, I would say 2 handfuls. Here's 1, here's 2, and stir it in there. I love the folic acid and all the health benefits that come along with using arugula, and so will you. And you're going to also notice that when you use this, whether it's in your ensalada, in your salads, whether it's in your pasta, it's got this little bittery bite, all right, and it's almost a little peppery actually. And I love it. It's fabulous. You know what? I want a little more in there. So I'm going to throw another little handful. And a little bit of Romano cheese. But before I do that, remember these beautiful pieces of Brie? I'm gonna toss it in right now and watch this melt into this beautiful dish. There we go. Gonna turn it off. Gonna stir it up. And I'm gonna take it over and put it in a beautiful bowl. Okay, look at this beautiful dish that we have here. We have these beautiful orecchiette in a very light fresh tomato sauce. We got this beautiful Brie cheese melting everywhere, herbs and spices. What am I gonna do? Add a little bit of Romano cheese, probably a half a cup or so, right there. And, this is so good. I'm gonna cut up a few fresh herbs. I love some fresh parsley, some prezzemolo. There we go. Let me use this corner here to cut up some herbs and throw that in there. Remember, any fresh herbs would be beautiful. My go-to herbs are always prezzemolo, which is parsley, or basilico, which is basil in Italian. Now look at this. This is just amazing. Here we go. Let's pour this in this beautiful bowl. Doesn't that look gorgeous? I just love this. Look at these beautiful chunks. And see these ears? It's not really a soup, but it's really saucy, as you can see. And the sauce just sits right in those ears. So when you take a bite, all right, it is joy in your mouth that you're gonna love it. So let me try a little bit of this right now. I got a little piece of the Brie here, a piece of the pomodoro, and a little bit of the wonderful Arugula. This bite has it all. Let me tell you something. This dish is just amazing. What I love about it, that it's so light, but it's so full of flavor, and it's so healthy for you. Amici, bring this home to your family. Make this for your family. I know they're worth it. Thank you for joining me in Isabella's Bella Cucina. Vivere bene, amici. Live well, my friends. Ciao.